Hey guys, welcome back to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Twitch updated complete guide for the latest patch. Now, a new kind of Twitch build has risen, and but before we get into it, of course, as usual, don't forget to check out Twitch's basic guide I put up in the cards above for his skills, leveling order tips and tricks, as well as a couple of combos. But with that said, now let's get into it. So take a look at the top couple of players now. What you will see is a pretty interesting observation, right? I mean, honestly, there's a lot of variations of builds, but what you will see is that you have Nash's Tooth, you have Riftmaker, so you have an AP component inside. Here you also have Nash's Tooth and Riftmaker, so you have an AP component inside, right? And then the second guy doesn't have that. However, basically, AP Twitch is kind of coming back. So this is what I think is probably the best AP Twitch build right now, and possibly or probably the best Twitch build right now in general, right? Because building full on hit just doesn't really cut it, right? So let's take a look at what we have. So first off, you're going to start with the Berserker's Greaves. Now, Berserker's Greaves, of course, gives you attack speed as well as a little bit of AD. Now, attack speed is very important for Twitch at the beginning of the game because you got to attack quickly so that you can stack your poison on someone and then you can pop your E, right? So having high attack speed on Twitch is paramount, which is why you're going for attack speed boots instead of going for Gluttonous Greaves, which is what you would normally go for. Then now you have Terminus, right? So Terminus is gonna, of course, give you AD attack speed, on-hit magic damage, increasing resistances, increasing penetrations as well. So what you will notice is that the next two items after Terminus, which is Runan's Hurricane and Nash's Tooth, give you adaptive damage. So you can see you get 20 AD or 40 AP, and this one gives you 30 AD or 60 AP, right? So what this means is that initially with the AD from Terminus, you are gonna have these two as AD items. But when you complete the Riftmaker with the AD AP, these two items are going to turn into AP items. And therefore, the magic pen that you stack here is actually going to matter, right? So that's going to put you to 40% magic pen, and that's just going to be very, very helpful. So, Runans, of course, allows you to attack 3 people at the same time, allows you to stack up your poison on 3 people at the same time, so always a core Twitch item. You even see some people going for it as first item. Now, I think it sucks as a first item, even though the top 3 players are all doing it. Now, I've playtested it myself a lot, and I think that it's horrible as a first item. You have, like, no damage. Like, you get like 20 AD as with Runans as a first item. You can attack 3 people at the same time, but what's the point if you're just gonna tickle 3 people at the same time, right? You're gonna do no damage. So second item is the earliest you can get it. And then Nashers. Nashers is, of course, a lovely AP item. You, of course, get the AP on hit damage, and then you also get attack speed and ability haste. Riftmaker, always going to be good, giving you Omnivamp as well as the true damage here. And for the last item, that you do have a number of options. Now, you could go for something like Death Cap for more AP, but I like to go for Liandry's. Now, I think at this point, you have enough AP that Liandry's is going to be effective, because Liandry's will, of course, burn the enemies based off of your AP. Furthermore, Twitch's poison also reprocs the Liandry, so Liandry is going to last for a long time, and Twitch with Liandry is going to do a lot of extra damage. So with the runes, you still want to go for pretty much the standard ADC build. You want to go for the tempo for the range as well as the attack speed. Brutal, just because you auto attack a lot. You have Giant Slayer, of course, to deal with the tanks as well as likely to attack faster. But the main difference here is instead of going for bone plating, you actually want to go for Sudden Impact. The Sudden Impact, after it got the rework dealing extra true damage at level 5s and 9, it is going to actually deal quite a significant amount of damage now. So that is going to be great for Twitch whenever you stealth with your Q and reset, things like that. Right, so for the spells, you want to go for Flash together with Cleanse most of the time to counter CC. Otherwise, something like Ghost is really good as well. Barrier and Exhaust if you need it. But with all that said, now let's move on to taking a look at the gameplay itself. Okay, so let's take a look at the gameplay itself. Now, I have to say that you really only want to play Twitch if you really, really love Twitch, right? Because despite everything, Twitch has not been getting any love from Riot. He hasn't really gotten any buffs. His items haven't really gotten any buffs. And he's pretty much the worst ADC. And has been the worst ADC for about a year or so, right? Because they got given him so many rounds of nerfs after the Twitch jungle kind of thing. That, like, at this point, he's just really, really weak. Right? So, here, we are playing against a MF Senna, but they have gone super aggressive, right? We can see we're killing Senna here. We get the kill on Senna. 1 for 1. And 1 for 1 to me is a win, right? Because Twitch is so weak, he shouldn't be having any business killing MF Senna, right? So we do get a kill in the early game. Traded 1-for-1 with MF. MF has a kill as traded 1-for-1 with Senna, right? MF gets a kill as well. But overall, it's still fine, right? It's still fine. Like we are more positive in goal compared to MF. I'm happy to trade a kill, right? Especially because they expended exhaust and heal, whereas we only expended heal. So we even have a summoner spell advantage against them. So I think it's a pretty positive trade. Twitch is kind of not really very good in the early game. You kind of need to get a couple of items to get online. However, you do have the cheese plays. What do I mean by that? Basically, if you come in from river in stealth or come in from lane in stealth, sometimes what you don't see isn't there, right? So the enemy team, enemy champions don't think that you're there, and sometimes you can go behind them and then you just start blasting them. I'm not sure if I will show it in this game, but if you do that, they basically are kind of caught out, and that's the main way Twitch get kills in early game, like from enemies disrespecting his invisibility, and then you basically just going in and blasting them normally with your ulti and just just killing them basically. It happens quite often in Twitch games. Hopefully, we'll get to see it later on. But yeah, in general, Twitch is not very strong. Right? He's not very strong in laning phase. And he's like decent in mid and late game, I guess. But the main reason I say decent is because there's so many better options than Twitch. The main selling point of Twitch is really the long duration invisibility, right? You have short duration invisibility from champions like Kai'Sa as well as Vayne. But with Twitch, you do have that long range and long duration invisibility, and you can kind of sneak up on people and have a very interesting, like kind of sneaky playstyle, which is really, I think, the only reason that you probably want to play Twitch. But of course, if you have fun, if you enjoy playing Twitch, of course, go for it. I mean, I enjoy Twitch game every once in a while. I haven't played him in a long time, and I kind of feel like playing Twitch. I do pull him out every once in a while, just definitely not very often. He's not one of those champions that I often go to, because he's really not that great. I mean, if he was stronger, maybe, but he's been weak for so long that I never really associate Twitch with like amazing games. More often than not, you have like bad games. I guess the only kind of pro with Twitch being so weak is that because he's so weak, he has such a low play rate, and because he's such a low play rate, a lot of champions underestimate Twitch's damage. Right? Like I believe that if Twitch was more played, more widely played, I don't think Senna goes for that intense like all in at level 1 against Twitch, because Twitch like all in at level 1 is actually kind of decent. At least against Senna is definitely decent. So I don't think she would have done that. So I guess sometimes being an unpopular champion does come with its advantages as well, is what I'll say. But you can see here that despite the kind of early game kills and stuff, you can see we're still struggling, right? You can see we're now 300 gold behind MF, and that's because like we cannot really step up to the minion wave, right? Because we're just going to take a lot of poke, we're going to take a lot of damage, and as such, we gotta play safe under tower, just farm it up. And here you can see MF and Seraphine are super aggressive. They get charmed at the tower. We're just blasting them into next week. Senna really low. We flash forward, get the kill onto her. And here we're just going for the MF as well, and we get the kill onto her as well. And honestly, you can see, right, that I didn't really like do anything amazing here. I mean, I get sniped by Lux. I don't really do anything amazing here. But what I really do here is actually like I'm just taking advantage of the enemy team's stupidity, right? Really, they should not be canceling like me and Seraphine when we are just under tower, right? Because that means that what just happened there is gonna happen, which is that Seraphine CCs you. You are a long way away from the tower, a long way away from safety. I have one entire lane to run you down and deal my damage, and then you can escape, and then we kill you, right? So if they didn't really make the mistake of canceling our back, we would be in so much of a worse spot right now. Which is why the main time when Twitch actually gets ahead is when the enemy team, kind of plays wrongly or like doesn't respect him and then feeds him, which is kind of what's happening here. I mean, even so, I have 2 deaths, right? One of them was kind of avoidable. I could have dodged the Lux ulti, but I walked into it. Things like that. So here's Xin Zhao. I'm not sure what he's trying to do. That enemy team is under tower. He's not going to get off any kind of gank here. But the dragon is out. Rammus is rolling his way in. And I'm just popping his bone plating here. Enemy team is coming to contest the dragon. Flash in from Rammus, taunts me. I'm getting chain CC'd here. Thankfully, I'm outside of the MF ulti. Now, I would have definitely died there. Now, I'm trying to get off as much damage as I can while maintaining a safe distance. Now, I'm popping the ulti, trying to blast people down. And Senna is really low. Everyone is really low. I really get a triple kill. In comes the Singe, tosses me towards Senna, which actually helps me out here. I managed to burst her down with the E, and now I'm stuck on 1 HP. I really want to recall. Now let's look at this, right? The Crux walk all the way over here and cancel my recall. What an annoyance. But anyways, I'm now going to have to re-channel the recall, and thankfully no random Lux ult is blasted into that bush or anything like that. I mean, you can see on the replay too, she doesn't have it. But yeah, we were able to back and pick up the Terminus. So we're 4-2-1. We are actually up on goal compared to MF. I mean, mostly because of the feeding antics of the enemy team. And funnily enough, I actually have the most goal in the game at this very second. So that is a rarity with Twitch. But it does happen. So here, if we can just snowball this lead into getting our items and then reaching the breakpoints where we are really strong, which is of course mainly at 3 items onwards, then we can, kind of carry this game and, show off what Twitch can do. So here we're just whacking the tower because no one is defending it. We're getting plates for free here. So MF is getting cut off by Irelia. Irelia is really low though, and MF and Rammus are going for it. Rammus now rolling his way in here with MF in tow. He doesn't have the power ball anymore because he used it against Irelia, so we're just going to easily walk back to the safety of our tower. And yeah, so MF is still here, most likely. There she is. Gets the first strike proc onto the Seraphine. Senna is making her way back from mid lane, and Rammus is also rolling his way here. So we definitely do not want to step up and get caught. We're just going to walk back to the tower, and then we're just going to recall and pick up some item components, right? I'm full health, full mana, but hey, sometimes resetting is better than just getting dove under the tower. There is a world there that Rammus dives us under the tower, and then Senna and MF follow up with some CC, and then we just get ulted under the tower and we die. So yeah, sometimes even under your tower is not safe, right? So sometimes just like Fountain is the only safe place, right? So here, MF is stepping up without anybody else here, right? So here we're just gonna easily murder her. Like once again, right? How are you stepping up when you have no support here? Like it's really the mistakes of the enemy team that's allowing me to get fed. Which, I mean, yes, I guess you could say that is the case in a lot of games, but I'm pointing out a lot more in this game because Twitch is really a champion that doesn't get fed unless the enemy team misplays, which is exactly what they're doing here. Right? I mean, I'm not gonna complain. I'm real happy about it. I'm happy to get fed and happy to have a good Twitch game, right? So, yeah, great. So here, Irelia has pushed in mid lane and is basically gonna roam to top lane and basically just steal my entire wave. Seraphine out goes wide, so there's no play to be made here, and yeah. So in the meanwhile, Irelia is still hanging around the area. I'm not sure what her intentions are. Is she gonna try to assassinate them, or what's going on here? Or is she here to steal another minion wave? Right? Misses the E completely. Yeah, I don't know about that. Thankfully, I don't waste my ultimate. I still have that. Irelia is now gonna go back to mid lane. Seraphine is taking a bunch of damage from that MF Q. Is dangerously low. But we're gonna farm under tower just fine. And yeah, nothing real interesting here. I mean, we do really want to get to Runan's Hurricane so that we have the ability to attack multiple people at the same time. But we're not quite there yet. You can see we are having both components, so we're in striking range of finishing Runan's, but just not just yet, right? So here, we're gonna try the stealth thing. However, the tower is down, so maybe not. Like, they're gonna be resetting, so we're just gonna go for the wave here. Next dragon is coming up in 5 seconds, so ideally the game plan here, push this wave in, maybe contest the dragon if the enemy team is contesting it as well, and maybe we can get something good. So here I have just enough for Runan. I'm not gonna waste time clearing the wave because I need to reset and go to dragon as quickly as I can. Right? You can see a fight is already breaking out, right? Irelia goes down, no surprises there. She's going in all the time, and here we're now 3v4. Here, right? So here, putting down the ward. It gets destroyed. Xin Zhao is now going in. Now here you can see I'm in the safety of the backline. I'm just free firing Seraphine ult goes in. I'm gonna try to kill MF. MF barely goes down. Me and Seraphine are now stuck on 1 HP. I'm gonna run the hell away because I'm not gonna survive even a tickle. And here Lux is able to finish off most of the kills. Unfortunately though, Xin Zhao ends up going down. Actually, why did I say Lux finishes most of the kills? I mean, she did, I guess. She killed Xin Zhao and Seraphine, but that's not good for my teams. And it's 2 for 2. Fight continues. I'm now making my way back from base. Lux 1 HP, nearly got the KS there. Zed picks up a double. Senna now running for the hills. I'm trying to just get there and get off at least an auto attack to get the assist. I do get the assist here as Irelia picks up the kill. And we can now maybe get Dragon, right? Xin Zhao is now respawning. Singe is now coming in to the pit. I'm just trying to get the Skull Crab. He flips it away, and unfortunately, I believe he gets it. Yes, he does. But Singe is not really doing very much here. I'm just free firing on him because he can't really reach me at the moment. Now we're doing the Dragon. Enemy MF steals it with the ulti. I'm not sure how that happened. Xin Zhao apparently doesn't know how to smite. I mean, I guess it's not really surprising, right? A lot of junglers just can't smite, right? So here, we pop the ulti. We're just blasting these two people with the ulti. We get the kills. Lux is now coming in, taking a bunch of damage. Senna gets the root off. We're not going to cleanse it because no real reason to. We're not in any danger, and we probably can't chase for more kills. So, yeah, we're just going to leave it at that. Wave present in the top lane. But of course, I realize once again here to compete with us for the wave. She gets most of it. Kind of annoying, but anyways, here we're still in a decent spot, right? We're 6-2 and 5. Pretty good KDA, pretty good goal. We're hitting our 2 items. Just looking for, like, you know, the 3 item breakpoint and you know, etc. Now, fight is kind of breaking out here. I wouldn't really call it a fight. It's just an assassination from Zed right here. Senna is also just getting destroyed here. Enemy team just overextending, getting picked off one by one. Rammus now thinks he's tanky, but gets chain CC'd, and we pick up the kill onto him. Now MF is trying to defend her tower. Singe is nowhere to be seen. And we pick up a mid lane tier 2 tower. We can also go for Baron here, because enemy team is all like dead or respawning. So we are going to be able to probably get a free Baron without any contest, most likely. Zed is trying to zone people away, I guess. Yeah, Senna does check it with the ulti. In case you guys don't know, Senna ulti does not deal damage to monsters. You cannot steal a monster with Senna ult. A lot of Senna players don't know that, and they actually try to snipe the Baron or the Elder or a normal Dragon with the ulti, but it doesn't actually work, right? I think most Senna players don't actually know that, but it doesn't actually work. Huge fight breaks out in the top side of the map. I'm trying my best to make my way there. Irelia gets killed. Zed is getting a bunch of kills. Now I finally reach the premises. Now I'm popping the ulti, blasting everybody. Yeah, I'm just trying to get a bunch of kills. Now I would have flashed forward there if not for the fact that I was grounded by Singed. But Singe comes back anyway. We're gonna kill him as well. Only MF as well as Senna are left alive, so we get the tower. Probably gonna be able to get another tower, putting the ward into the base just to see if any enemies are coming. And I'm gonna go push mid because there's no wave on the bot lane to push in with. And now both waves are now coming in. But enemy respawns are coming soon, so I'm not gonna be too aggressive with pushing. I'm gonna now pick up the Nashor's Tooth and start building towards the Riftmaker. Anyway, Xin Zhao farming the enemy jungle. I'm gonna be farming his jungle because you know, no point wasting the farm. Just let it sit there. Not stealing the blue buff though, at least not as of yet. We're gonna get a little bit of a push in. Baron is of course still active, but it's gonna fade off real soon. Trying to see what we can get with the last vestiges of Baron. Here my team gets into another fight. I'm just stealthing my way in, waiting for the MF ult to expire. I'm just making my way in, blasting people from over the wall with my ulti, just blasting. Just getting off a lot of damage here. Rammus now coming in. Can't quite reach me though, funnily enough, and just getting blasted by me instead. He's gonna be going down. I pick up a triple here. It's actually a possible penta, I guess, because the last two people are still alive, but it's just not very likely. MF is on the complete wrong side of the map. Senna is now gonna die to Irelia. Nope, Irelia dies to the Nexus instead. Zed finishes the kill onto MF. Only Senna is left alive. And we're gonna need this top wave if we want to end the game. So I'm just gonna focus this top main tower. Let the wave come in. Senna is going to struggle to defend this. Is doing some decent damage to the wave, but we do have two waves here. Here just gonna blast the Nexus. Maybe get the kill. The respawns are not coming through though. I'm just gonna keep on focusing Nexus. People are running out of the base to defend, but we do pick up the win here. So, I'm gonna leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.